So if you look here, we have a 56 nautical mile distance between two targets. I'm the F-15 AI Su-27. When we run this through, the first thing I'm going to do is gain some altitude. I want a altitude advantage over the Su-27. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually travel outward towards sea while he comes straight at me. This will slow my closing distance. If I come straight at him, point the closest way to 2 points is a straight line. So if I go out this way, I'm not coming at him very fast. The second advantage is if he fires, his missile will track this way as well. And when I fire on him, I'm going to turn and I'm going to point inland. And then his missile has to track backwards this way, basically killing a lot of its energy. So let's just look at some of this. So if you look here, I am traveling out in this direction. And he is 50 degrees positive to my right, negative would mean to my left, off of my nose, 50 degrees. That's this, if you were to draw a straight line here and a straight line here, the arc in between would be 50 degrees. This is where we want him. You'll notice that he'll fire first and his missile will track in a leading fashion to hit me somewhere around here. But I am traveling this way, will then turn. I will turn probably about 90 degrees, and I will end up going this direction. And his missile, since it was traveling this way, will have to track back this way to try to lead on me, which is going to be over here. Let's just see what that looks like. So you can see here, I banked. I'm starting my turn. His missile is tracking out this way. It thinks it's going to meet me somewhere around here. I'm slowly closing this gap. So you'll see I'll turn to the right and I'll pull probably 6 or 7 Gs. And in the middle of that pull, when I am facing him, I will fire one missile and continue my pull. So just one seamless turn. So you can see here, this missile now has to track, right? So it was going this direction. Now it's coming this way. And if I mouse over it, you can see it's pulling 5.9 Gs right now, and I'm pulling 5.8 Gs. He's still traveling same direction. So right here I fired this missile. It's going to go straight at him. His missile's now still turning. It's still in 5.7 G turn. So now I'm traveling this direction, right? His missile has stopped turning, but it has turned almost 90 degrees. You can see its G level is, or its G is 0.8, so it's slowed quite a bit. I'm still at 4. I think that's because in this frame I've actually started my left-hand turn. Yeah, we'll back up a little bit. Here's the 1G turn. We can see that this missile, right before it stopped turning. So it's going to try to meet me. It thinks it'll meet me somewhere right here, right? And I've put him close to 40 degrees. Usually you want to go to about 50 if you can. Depends on the scenario. Off of my left side now. So let's continue on. I ended up turning. I didn't know where this missile was. So I think time-wise, it's been about maybe 12 to 15 seconds, which is quite a lot. This is getting close, and it is. But I've killed all of its energy, and as you can see, it's actually no longer tracking me. It still wants to lead me. I'm facing downward here. It's still going this direction. So I've actually defeated this missile without, I never did chaff, no flares, no nothing. I didn't turn around. And in my turn, I fired a second missile. And he's actively now going defensive. You can see his chaff. My first missile is about halfway to him. My second missile just came off the rail. But the bigger point is I have kept him in radar lock the entire time. I haven't had to use any countermeasures. The only thing I did was maneuver, and I defeated his missile. You can do this every time. Obviously, it doesn't work when your range is much closer. If you were to fire another missile right now, I'd kind of be in trouble. But I can go full defensive, turn around, split S, all the way back to home base if you were to fire another missile. And he's got 2 on him, and he's just now starting to go defensive. This is why you don't go straight at each other. You don't gain this advantage. This is how you get kills. I'll just play out the rest of the track so you can see. And there's the splash, and I turn back in. No reason to go defensive. I saw the splash. I turn back in. At this point, I would probably start scanning for more targets out here. I would also probably try to gain more altitude. The other reason I went low is in case this missile was still on me. Let's back up. If that missile was still on me, even in this right here, I've now notched it. So it's 90 degrees off my wing. And 90 degrees off my wing. I'm a little bit more than that right here, but in probably half a second sooner than this frame, I was 90 degrees off my wing, and I'm a lower altitude, which means I'm no longer being able to be tracked by this missile because I'm not coming at it and I'm not going away from it. And that's the only way a missile can track you, is if you're going towards a radar missile, if you're going towards it or going away. But I'm going this way, and I'm lower than it, so I actually blend in with the terrain. It has no idea I'm here. It's called notching.